Now, is this the first time like one of the collective shows have been on?
No. So I reached out to them for the last 5 years, but unfortunately I couldn't make it to the podcast. So this is my first time. But
Okay.
Lyric and Pat were on here for the last 5 years.
Okay,
Right, yeah,
so
yeah.
so the mechanics.
Yeah, you're not special.
Okay, no, I just wanted to make sure.
Not special.
I just want to make sure that, like, if we have to talk about the mechanics of the collective.
We're
and all that
going
kind
to
of stuff.
talk about it
Okay.
because the last time you guys were on was
Like 2
2
years
years
ago.
ago.
Okay.
It was 2 years
So
ago.
we can't count on anybody who's listening today that was listening 2 years ago when you did the last 5
Fair
years.
enough.
So
That
we
is
have to
true.
explain all that kind of stuff. So
Yes,
hey,
we do.
That's just good
yeah,
providence.
hey, this is Stage Door, a theater podcast hosted by a couple of regular guys. Tonight we're talking to, as Matt already said, the collective at Children's Theater Workshop. And we have Bronson, we have Natalie, we have Matt. Okay, so Bronson, you reached out to me. You got a hold of me to talk about this show that's coming up. But I think, like we just said, we need to kind of explain what the heck the collective at Children's Theater Workshop is.
Yeah. So basically, what the collective is for like CTW offers the regular classes. They offer-
Whoa. Who?
CTW
CTW.
offers so like regular classes for like acting. They offer tech classes, but so collective's kind of like if you want to get more on the production side of a show. Like you,
Oh, okay.
what we do is we choose a show, we assign roles. I got to be the director for this one, and basically we assign the roles. Like, and we kind of have like a budget Amy gives us, and we have to say, okay, we're gonna put this amount towards props, this amount towards costumes, set, and whatnot.
Okay, so the collective is just the tech side? There is no performers?
It's more so focusing on teaching us to produce a show. And
Gotcha.
if we want to, we can choose to be in it. Like the 3 shows I've done, none of us in the collective have decided to be in it. And meanwhile, I haven't because I can do that through Teen Company. But yeah, we basically produce the show. It's more focused on the production and how to run a show.
Okay. Teen Company. So let's qualify that. How old are you, first of all?
I am 17 years old.
17. Okay, so you've been doing this for a couple of years though already. So you can start this. It's not like you have to be like graduating out of the Children's Theater Workshop to move on to the collective.
I believe collective is 15 to 17.
15 to 17?
So not quite
Oh, you
teen
just started
teen.
then when you first got a hold of me when you were 15.
I heard about it like a few years before. I was like, this sounds really cool. I want to do that.
Yeah, and then when you did this 2 years ago, you guys were on. You were talking about the last 5 years
Yes.
was the show.
Yes.
Which is only have 2 people in it.
Yeah, and that was very hard to draw an audience for. So since then, we've picked bigger cast shows to try to get better audience.
That's true, but it's a really great show though.
Oh, I loved working on that show. It was such great music in that show. I loved the soundtrack to that.
I thought it was a great pick for you guys because it is only 2 people.
That too.
Yeah.
It kind of had especially for me. Okay, it's my first time entry level. Only 2 actors.
Yeah, instead of having the Music Man that has like all these
Right.
townspeople and all these crazy choreography and all this
Yeah.
nutso stuff you have to worry about. Start off with something that's a little bit easier to handle, obviously.
Yeah.
So
So I assistant directed the last 5 years, and the last show we did, which was The Tempest, we just did last year.
okay, so my understanding, and I'm just gonna fill in the blanks. Anybody want to fill in any blanks for what the collective is over there?
Well, I mean, he pretty much laid it out there. Like the cool part about it is they do everything from the budget to the promotions to picking the shows.
Yeah.
Casting. Correct me if I'm
These
wrong
are the
here, Bronson.
teenagers.
Yeah, the teenagers. Typically, if you're talking about Children's Theater Workshop, you've got adult directors and kid actors, and
There
right
you
now
go.
it's the opposite.
That's what
you've
I
got
wanted
the
to get
kids
out.
who are the directors here. Not that Bronson's 17. He's a good dude.
Right,
He's
yeah.
been great to work with.
A young
but
man.
You got Natalie and I, who I believe are both in our 40s.
Yeah.
You look great, Natalie.
Thanks.
I didn't say the same thing to Matt.
No, that's fine. So it kind of puts the spin on that dynamic, but it's been a blast to work with them.
Yeah. So who was here last time? You said it was Lyric, and who was the other gentleman?
Sorry?
Last time that you guys came on. 'Cause this is the second time
Pat
the collective's
LaHood
been on. So Pat was on with Lyric last time.
Yeah,
And that's what
and-
Pat was saying, that they had come up with this idea to produce this like almost like the next generation of Children's Theater Workshop. Like because it was like the children in the workshop get to a certain point where they want to do more mature stuff.
Yeah.
It's like they don't want to do Princess and the Pea their whole life. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of like Matt was saying. Like Amy says at the very beginning every year, it's gonna be weird. You're gonna have to learn how to tell adults what to do.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that comes with the casting, though, right?
It
Make
does,
sure you cast
absolutely.
the non-a-hole adults, and
Absolutely.
that'll help you out quite a bit then.
Well, and
does.
it's also a really cool introduction for them, I think, to see the other side of things, not just from the acting side or from the tech side, but from like, hey, here's the budgetary side of things. Here's why you can't do. Why can't we do big blockbuster musicals?
Right.
Well, because that's expensive. Well, why can't we do really cool indie stuff? Well, that's because nobody ever comes to those and you end up broke. So you kind of learn that other side of the coin.
The responsibility side of the coin.
Exactly.
Yes.
The not so much fun stuff, but it
Yeah.
can be fun as long as you've got the right mindset. It kind of shows them that direction.
Yeah, but it is one of those things. I think maybe sometimes if even adults would think, "Oh, I can just throw the show together," and then they start actually doing it, and they're like overwhelmed with everything. Like,
Way
"Oh, I didn't.
overwhelmed.
I didn't know how much is actually like myself. I've been a part of this theater podcast, obviously, for 2.5 years. I've talked to a lot of people. My kids have done theater forever. I still have zero experience doing any kind of preparation for an actual show. So I'm sure if I were to try and put this together, I would be like, what? There's going to be all kinds of things that pop up. So I think it's a wonderful thing that Children's Theater Workshop is putting together to prep you guys for this kind of stuff.
And not even just from the theater side of things, but just like life skills things. Like,
Yeah,
hey, here's how to do a budget. Why can't we go to Disney World this year? Well, because that's really expensive.
well, just reaching out for publicity.
Yeah, exactly.
Bronson got a hold of me.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't somebody else that was the quote adult up in the booth somewhere saying you should get these kids on. No, Bronson did it. He did it 2 years ago when he was 15. That is a lot. That is intimidating to lots of young people out there who are like, I can't even order a pizza because if I say I want pepperoni and I say hamburger, I'm hanging up the dang phone.
It was
I screwed up the order. Bye. It's like it can be nerve wracking to call and do that kind of stuff yourself.
It was actually like one of the first few meetings this year. I was like, you know what? Why don't we reach out to Stage Door? I built that relationship with them 2 years ago.
Yeah, you did.
And I can reach out again. I'm sure they'll see it again, and
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get on again. And sure enough, here we are.
Oh,
you
you're
know?
getting cocky now. Okay.
No, I didn't mean that.
He's like, those guys are suckers. They'll put us on again.
Well, that's what community theater does. It gives you moxie, doesn't it?
Well, yeah,
It really does.
There you go. And I am always looking to help out as much as we can and get as many different kinds of people on, different kinds of shows on, different theaters on. And we hadn't had you on in like 2 years. I'm like, I'm glad you reached out. I'm glad you said,
Yeah.
hey, can we come on again? I'm like, I know this guy. And then he led with it. Remember me? I'm like, yes, I remember you. I'm old, but I'm not that old. Come on, man. Give me a break. Natalie, what are you doing in the show? You're fairly quiet compared to these two loudmouths.
It's hard to get a word in.
know.
I play Miss Hildegard in this great play.
Gotcha. So you're an actor as well then. So Matt's an
Correct.
actor and you're an actor in
Yes.
the show too.
And I've acted with Matt's wife before.
Oh,
funnily
yeah.
enough.
Brandy?
Yeah. Yes, Brandy, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know the show. So we're going to talk about the show. And I don't know how many people do know the show. It's Bull in a China Shop.
Yes.
And I just hear this term and I just think, of course, like, a klutz banging around on everything. Like that's what it's referring to. But I don't know what the show is. I've used the term a million times on somebody who's an idiot bumping into things. Mostly it's towards myself. So I didn't know. Once this belly keeps getting bigger and bigger every year, I keep not realizing. I think I'm a svelte little 115-pound guy. I am not anymore. So what
Spatial
is
awareness is the thing.
It's hard. I remember when I was so not needing to watch where my belly is. So what is the show about? Anybody?
I was so surprised that you guys picked this show because it's quite an older show. And I kind of did some digging on it. And I found out that
So you had to dig around and find out what it was too?
I did.
Okay, cool.
I did. And I realized that Alfred Hitchcock Presents did like a snippet of it, like a very condensed version of it. And I likened it to The Golden Girls meets Murder, She Wrote.
That's about right.
What?
That's about right.
The Golden Girls meets Murder, She Wrote. So there's a lot of old farts in the show. Is that what you're saying?
Excuse me.
A lot of old fart women in the show. It sounds like.
Still
Man, how'd you get in the
excuse
show?
Yeah.
You must be the sexy love interest for the.
Somehow they'll talk about a miscast.
Oh, are you for real?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. See, you're too young to be the Angela Lansbury love interest. I feel like.
So the back of the napkin pitch of the story is that there's a detective by the name of O'Finn who's a homicide detective. He lives across the street from a boarding house full of a bunch of older women. The older women see this guy. He's in his 40s. He's very handsome.
He has a driver's
He's
license.
very built. And they are smitten with him, but they say, we just can't get his attention. How can we get this homicide detective to come over to our house?
Wait, how old are these women? You're in his 40s?
We're in our 70s and 80s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
We're older ladies.
They're cougaring it, huh?
I don't know if that's more like saber-toothed tigering at this point.
I mean, as she mentioned, her name is Hildegard, if that gives you an idea on age.
Hildegard.
Hildegard. So
That does give me an idea.
so
of the
how
ages.
so how do you get a homicide detective to come over to your house?
Or you must fake a murder of some kind, right?
Or you commit an actual
Or an
murder.
actual one.
Or an actual one, exactly.
And thus the hijinks begin.
They're like, screw it, we're going to die soon anyway, right?
So
we're going all in. What are they going to do? Throw us in prison for life?
Yes.
Whoop-de-doo.
So
Another
That'll
2
be like
weeks.
2 years. Another 2 weeks.
I play the titular Detective O'Finn,
what?
the titular bull in the
Man,
china
you
shop.
guys, people come in here like saying that titular too much. I don't know why.
It's
You
a
are the
phrase.
title character.
I am the
there.
bull
Say
in the
that,
china shop.
man. Everybody
I
comes in
am-
and says titular as many times as they can. It makes
He
me
wants his
come on.
25 cents. Give him his
Right.
quarter.
The title character.
Subtitles
You
of
are the bull.
I'm the bull in the china shop because I am
and
the
Natalie's the china shop.
No,
Oh.
the house, I guess, is the
The
china
house it
shop.
is.
If you want to be specific about it, my character is very
Just trying-
brash. He's trying to solve this murder, while all the old ladies are being very coy about what information they do have. The one strength that they do have is that nobody except the actual killer knows who the killer is. They all know this is what happened because they all sort of agreed to it. They all said, "Oh yeah, no, we just have to have a death in the house." Well, how do we do that?
So they all got together and said, we're going to kill somebody. And then somebody said, yeah, I'm doing it.
Well, yeah, that's you know
Without
how
telling the other ones.
You know how it is when you guys make plans and you're like, yeah, no, we'll do that sometime in the future. It's like when all your friends get together and say, hey, we should open up a bar. And then one guy comes to you and says, hey, so I put in a bid on a place. This is kind of what happened here is that they all kind of talked about it. And then one person said, okay, I'm in.
But it's a murder mystery. Sounds like Clue.
It is.
It is.
Absolutely. It's a murder, as she mentioned, it's Murder, She Wrote on top of a little bit of Golden Girls action. So
And I'm glad you mentioned Clue. Clue is one of my absolute favorite movies. So it is kind of Clue-like as well.
Golden Girls in action. I like that
And that's
combination.
that's one of the reasons I kind of wanted to direct this show because I was in Clue and I loved being in Clue and I just love murder mysteries in general. So I was like, a murder mystery? That sounds fun.
Yeah, people sitting in the audience the whole time just trying to figure it out.
Like,
You
who
know.
could it be?
Those are always kind of fun.
Yeah.
I kind of, and to an extent though, I also get distracted with my own brain now when I go to these things because I'm just trying to figure out like what's going on. I'm trying to solve the problem instead of just freaking enjoying the show. So I'm sitting there going, I have zoned out for 20 minutes. Nice
because
job.
because I was thinking about the way that one person said
Yes.
that one
Yeah,
line,
I'm like,
and it just
and it's like that better not be the right answer. And I figured it out in 20 minutes, and I'm so mad now. So is everybody gonna figure this show out, or is it really a titular kind of show?
I feel like there's
The
a.
right word?
Kyle.
No,
Why
I
did
don't
say
think
that
that's how
word?
you use
you
it.
keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
I definitely think for the show, there's a few characters that you can definitely suspect would do it. And there's like a few like it's
Colonel
obvious.
Mustard is on the list, right? That kind of thing.
There's like some characters like it's, okay, they definitely didn't do it. Or like, you know what I mean? But is this really?
But it's got to be one of the women. We do know that. Or does it?
Yeah, no,
See, she
that's-
could have hired somebody outside of the group.
I don't think we have that kind of money.
I mean, the plumber could have done it, but she had somebody do it for her. She could have been the person.
No, I don't think the show gives too much away. There's threads to follow, but there's not too much. It doesn't give too much away until the very end.
I was gonna say like at the very end is really where it becomes a lot more obvious. Like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
Okay.
why would that?
Yeah.
So which one of these is your favorite actor? Is it Natalie or is it Matt?
Don't you dare.
Don't put that on the young man.
Don't you dare.
He's Natalie,
He
obviously.
already looked at her. I already saw it. He was going to say it.
I'm not
and
choosing.
He just how many people are in this show? I don't even. So you said there was 4 ladies and 1 dude.
There are
Actually,
6 old ladies.
6 old ladies. See how he said that? He emphasized the old.
The characters
There's-
are old.
Oh, the
There's-
characters are old. Yeah.
There's Kramer, who is assistant detective or co-detective.
Okay.
The term partner and or sidekick is used throughout the show.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
he
Okay.
is the detective second class.
I like Kramer. He kind of like pokes fun at Ofen the whole time. Like,
Who is it? What's your character's name, Matt?
Detective Dennis O'Finn.
O'Finn. That's what
Detective
you're saying.
Dennis
Do you have
O'Finn.
an accent the whole time?
I do not.
Okay.
I
think you started
at the very
trying.
start of it, because it's very much it's specific in the script that he's an Irish cop. So, but I didn't know what to do in Irish kind of because I'm not very good at it.
Now you sound no.
Yeah, yeah.
You sound like a bar of soap.
So
over
then,
there.
then I thought, okay, Boston. So I was like, trying to do a Boston, and it was not working.
That was
So
worse, huh?
I kind of talked it over with a couple people. They're like, Irish cop is more of an identity than an accent. I'm like,
beans,
all right, cool.
Beans, totally down. I love my beans. Like,
Yeah,
and that didn't work out for you either.
I didn't park my car at the garden or anything like that. So
So that's like okay. So we're up to like 8 characters then.
And
okay.
then we have
let's see. There's
Jane, the reporter.
Yeah, at one
Oh,
point.
you gotta have somebody covering the murder.
Well,
yeah.
at one point, the ladies feel like Detective O'Finn isn't giving them enough attention, and so they call the newspaper to say, "Hey,
Pretty much.
there's a murderer loose in our house.
Get him back over
Get
here.
him back over here." And when the murderer
Exactly.
decides that she's going to go to the paper, they say, "Well, no, we don't."
Jeez, Matt, is Detective O'Finn like shirtless the whole show? What
No.
are these women all over him? Holy
So
smokes!
it's so yeah, but yeah, Jane does get involved as well. So it becomes it's shenanigans on top of hijinks.
I'm just trying to figure out what these women are. They just really liked what you're bringing to the table.
Look,
obviously.
I'm gonna. Podcasting is a visual medium, but I'm gonna tell you right now. Again, I know.
That's a no.
No,
Must be
just-
your glowing personality.
I'm gonna roll with that.
Is that a potato in your pocket? That's
Wow.
That's the only Irish joke I can
Okay.
think of. Is that offensive to Irish
Okay.
people?
No, I don't
I mean,
Oh, Finney over there. All right. So you can't tell me who your favorite actress is then?
I cannot choose.
Oh, okay. So this is your first time directing, right? Is it your first time directing or first time directing here?
Well, so it's complicated. It's my first time directing a full show.
Okay.
So way back, I forgot what year it was. It was pre-COVID. CTW had this thing. Hey, direct a one scene, like 5-page thing.
Okay.
And I did that. That was fun. And then at my school, in advanced acting, we have senior high 1 acts.
Mm-hmm.
And so this year I did senior high 1 acts, and we directed a scene, a 1 act called Blueberry Hill, which was like a few pages long. You know,
Cool.
that's like a good 10-minute scene.
Where you go to school, man?
Toledo School for the Arts.
You're a TSA dude? All right. See?
flying pigs.
I did. Yeah, you said 1 acts and senior 1 acts.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, is this a TSA guy?
It sounds very familiar, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it sounds very familiar. My kid's been out for a couple years now.
No,
but-
but I was actually in a. I think the only play I was in with Gabe was Curious Incident. I was in that with Gabe.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So, what do you think about working with these professional adults compared to working with the 1 actors?
It's
See,
definitely.
he said professional adults, not professional actors.
These old farts. What do you think about working with them?
It's definitely a different experience than working with, like, people who are still in school and, like, learning. Like, I kind of began like, yeah, I'm going to give you guys this, but I more so want them for this show to do what you want, and I'll say what I like or not more so.
Uh-huh.
But then 1 act, I more so had, like, I want them to do, because I was like, yeah, I could let them go free reign, but I don't want to get too, out of hand.
Right, right. How do you feel about, talking to adults like people? Well, it's different, right? It's a different
is,
thing. You your whole time you're always kind of not, I guess, I don't know what permitted or whatever the right word is, but here you're put on an equal playing field, if not a little bit higher than these guys, because you are the boss of them.
I don't know. It definitely feels different. I'm 18 in March, so I'm almost there, to whatever.
Oh yeah,
I'm
totally an
entering-
adult in a couple months.
It's,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
a flip and a
But
switch.
no,
huge difference.
But no, I'm entering that adulthood time, where
yeah.
I'm about to go to college and be
True. Mm-hmm.
farther away for a while and on my own more so than, at home where I wake up every day and my mom and dad are right across the hall.
Yeah, I was just curious how they're doing. I assume picking the right people was a big deal for you then.
Yeah, we definitely thought about who was best for what part and where their personality really fit, the program.
So no a-holes, like if you were casting and I walk in, you'd be like, that guy, I don't know. That guy's going to be a problem. I can already tell. Look at his beard and his bald head. He's got attitude. So these guys are not that way, I hope, right? Are you?
It's been a very cool cast to work with.
Okay.
It's been a very good cast.
Cool.
Yes,
Who else is in the
absolutely.
show then?
Oh boy.
Ooh.
There are some names that I don't know off the top of my head.
You're really testing my memory on my cast right now.
Well, Amy Reed.
Well, if they're not
Is it
mentioned, just don't be offended, people. You know, you're just less important. That's all.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
Nah, playing.
yeah, the person who runs Collective, Amy Reed, we casted her.
Oh yeah,
too.
she's pretty good. I've
Yes,
seen her
her
perform
char-
before. Wasn't she just in? She was just in a show that.
Yeah, she was.
Lakeside
I don't
did.
remember what the name was.
I remember Mama. Yeah, she was just in I Remember
Okay.
Mama, I believe. So
You are correct.
And I don't remember completely last names, but we have. I think her name's Emma. I forgot how to
It's
pronounce her
Emma.
last name.
Yep, Emma.
I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but she's in it. We have Jillian, who's been in Collective. She directed the last show, actually.
Okay.
And she was in it the year before. I think she's stage manager for the last 5 years.
oh, okay.
And then
And now she's old enough to be in the show and
Yeah.
not be one of the children.
no, yeah, right. And then we have Evan in it.
Okay. Cool.
Evan Jeffrey Guyan is
Jeffrey.
in it. Evan Copeland.
And then
Evan
Sydney.
Copeland, I recognize that name.
Yeah.
Out of the village.
Pitt Green is in the show.
Sydney's in the show.
Let's see. What other names do I remember off
And this
the
is
top
a
of my
play,
head?
right? This
Yeah,
is not a
it's a play.
musical.
This is not a
it's
music. You don't want me to sing? Are
You
you kidding me?
also do not want me to sing.
No, this is a play.
I
And-
specifically didn't want to jump to musical because I'm not the biggest musical guy. I've been in like one or two, but I'm more of a play guy, and I feel
Yeah.
more comfortable directing a play.
No, that's good. We need everything. We need everything theater related.
And that
in this
also saves the
community.
trouble of having to find a music director.
I was just
Yes.
wondering.
And
Yeah.
that.
True.
So this saves a lot of money.
Plus,
and
then you
trouble.
get to be boss. Nobody.
Exactly.
These
Exactly.
darn music directors think they run the show. Yeah.
That's kind of one of the things that I think is kind of cool about the collective is like because correct me if I'm wrong on this. The budget for the collective does kind of roll over, right? So like if one show makes a lot of money, then you can be like, all right, well now we can do
Yes.
something a little more expensive.
for the most
Nice.
part. And so that's kind of why we did the Tempest last year, because like the last 5 years didn't get the best audience. So like we're like, okay, the Tempest, Shakespeare's free. We're gonna choose a free show.
You gotta have econ round, as the kids
No,
say.
that's good. That's in the public domain, man.
We got
gotta
a
do
free
that.
show. We got a bigger cast. We got a bigger audience. So yeah, and Amy,
That's a shame. I think people really missed out going to see the last 5 years.
they sure did. We
Because
had
that
a-
is such a beautiful show to go and see, and I really wish that some people would take some more chances that aren't
Yeah.
as familiar in the theater world. I
Our-
think anybody listening to this podcast knows what the last 5 years is, and they have all seen it or at least listened to the music on it before. So I don't think we're not convincing anybody that's listening to this podcast
Yeah.
that they need to see it. But I do think that the casual viewers that are out there that are like, oh, we'll go see The Little Mermaid. It's like, oh yeah, that's great too, but you should go see these shows.
Shows.
These shows that
Yeah.
have been put together and are just amazing. I wish they would just continue. Like they sometimes they're just I don't know what it is, like risk averse. I guess it's like it's.
Well, I
it's
mean,
like,
you have a little bit of time,
Yeah.
you have a little bit of budget, and I get it. But yeah, you can find just as much entertainment finding these smaller shows and finding
oh no,
these
I
more
agree.
interesting
I mean the
programs.
viewers. I mean the audience.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
It's going to cost
And
you
it-
like $12, 10, to go see a show, and
Yeah.
if you don't like it, oh well.
Speaking of which, the show, Bronson, we talked about this before we
Yes.
went on the air. This is not only just going to be seats in the house, but there's also going to be a little bit of a dinner theater sort of situation.
So, yes.
Sorry,
For the-
squeeze me. What?
Yeah.
for the
It's
first
called
time.
a tease.
Yeah.
For the first time in CTW, I think it was like the board or something. Amy said like they wanted to do a dinner theater show, and they're like, "This is the type of show people would go to see a dinner theater with."
Yeah, because it's a mystery thing.
So, yeah,
it's perfect
Amy-
for
yeah.
it.
And
And-
Amy
and I-
discussed this in our production meeting we just had a few weeks ago, and basically,
My wife signaled to her that she's interested in already now.
All right. I mean, it's going, as I understand it, it's a high tea
Yeah, so
that's going to be
basically-
served. So
High tea. What are we,
basically-
fancy? Come on, man.
Well, I mean,
my
and here's-
pinky only
Yeah.
sticks out
this
so
is
far.
this is a house full of old ladies. They drink a
good
lot of
point.
tea.
Good
Hello.
that's why we're doing tea. So basically, Amy came us like dinner theater, and we came back. Why not make it tea related to the show? The show's all about tea. Why not make it like a tea party type thing? So Amy brought that to the board, or like again, whoever was talking about it, and they're like, "We love it."
So is this
yes.
a smaller stage then? We're not.
No,
putting
we're
it
going to
on
be at the Ohio.
So what's gonna happen
Okay.
is there's gonna be 8 tables on the stage, which means we're gonna have to push the set back as far as we can.
It's a big set. It's fine.
Yeah, but basically
Okay.
what's gonna happen is you can still buy regular seats, so you can still buy the audience. So it's gonna be like $10 seats, but the dinner theater I'm pretty sure like $30.
30.
Okay,
That's what I got
30.
from.
Well,
yeah.
that's
And
fine,
that's what
that's
I
fine.
double checked today.
That's nothing.
Yeah,
That's nothing.
It's a little fun. You're
what-
closer. You're on the set, kind of.
So you don't even know what the food's going to be, though, right? Because
So where's gonna be tea? And I think
I got tea, scones, sandwiches, and desserts
gonna
is what I
say-
got from my notes.
I was gonna say
Pancakes.
we discussed
Holly
Finger
says
foods.
Holly's giving him.
I know, she's really leaning in.
Going to the website now.
Really leaning in on this.
CTW.org.
All right. Take it
No,
on
but-
CTWToledo.org.
Yeah, so
I got it. I fixed
what
it.
we discussed in the meeting was not that specific, but more so finger foods like sandwiches and stuff like that. So,
Sandwiches,
yeah.
please, because I will be hungry. If you just serve me tea, I'll be like, what is this?
Oh, no.
So
Because
waiting.
I don't have to get up halfway through the show anyway, because I got old man bladder.
Yeah, and for like basically anyone who doesn't really know how dinner theater works, I really didn't before the production meeting. Basically, what happens is you kind of have like I think it's you get tea at the very beginning, first act, intermission, you get your food. Second act, intermission, you get your dessert. Then the end of the show, kind of. That's how Amy described it to us.
Wow.
Okay.
So
I
kinda-
like this.
So yeah, but then again, there's if you don't.
So you'll
wanna-
have your opportunities to take care of business because there's a couple intermissions happening here.
Nice
Definitely.
polite way of saying you can have your bio break.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I thought it was like a fun idea. Like CTW has never done dinner theater before, so why not try it out with a murder mystery?
And they're at the Ohio Theater now.
Yes.
Yes.
Because they used to be downtown at the other.
Oh, the Old West End,
The
yeah,
Old West
at
End,
the
yeah.
Collingwood
Which
Arts.
was- Collingwood, thank
Yeah.
you. That's where, and that was a really big stage and a really. But now Ohio Theater. I forgot they were at the Ohio Theater. They did the blunder. They did the Blunder Snorp right there, right?
Correct,
That,
yeah.
That stage.
Yeah.
Where when I went and saw the Blunder Snorp, dude, I was like on the stage.
Yeah.
So I was like right there.
Yeah,
like,
if you're in the
oh.
front row, you're right there.
They set it up that way. They set it up. You had no choice.
And
I
that's-
loved it. I
and
loved
that's
it.
definitely going to be how the dinner theater is. Again, the tablers going to have to be on the stage. About 8 of them, Amy said we could fit. And after Amy described what dinner theater is, I realized, speaking of like murder mystery dinner theater, that's how I saw a friend in Clue before I was ever in Clue, before I knew I was going to be in Clue. It was just a friend. And there was this kind of like dinner theater setup. Like we went in there, we sat down, we watched the show. It was like around us, the show, kind of almost like a theater around.
Yeah.
This, like, there was like
It was
the
a very
bath-
immersive
The
experience.
kitchen was over there. The bathroom was behind us. Wherever the rooms were, they were around the whole room. It was really cool.
You were you were on the set then. Everything was all.
That was
on
not the cool production. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah. But the cool production I did, that's obviously just very like you're in the audience looking straight at us.
Oh yeah, that's not as fun. No,
No, but
definitely-
I still had a great time with Clue, man. I loved that show.
cool. Because the Blunder Snorp that CTW did was they were right there. I mean, I was literally an inch from people.
Yeah.
An inch.
Absolutely.
Like they were right there in my face. Like
didn't
looking
see-
at me. I was like, I'm a little uncomfortable.
I didn't see that at the Ohio. My
I saw
daughter
it
was
there.
in it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I saw
that's
a couple of the other productions they did because they took that as a traveling show.
Yeah, then they took it
And yeah,
around.
all the seats were just like you just kind of sat and they just kind of weaved through
Yeah,
everybody.
they ran through everybody.
And that was kind of part of the cool part about it.
Yeah.
So.
It was pretty cool the way they did everything, and so I'm excited to see what you guys are going to do. And obviously, my wife has already made it perfectly clear that we are going. We are going to this thing.
amazing.
So,
I hope you are. I hope you
oh
are.
yeah, we're losers. We had nothing going on. Man.
Wait. Only winners go see this
Oh
show.
yeah, we got nothing going on, so there's like no excuse for us. You know, we finished up our kitchen. The holidays are winding down. When is the show?
The show is the weekend of February 9th.
Yeah,
10th,
see,
and
so all the
11th.
holidays are done.
So
And
yes,
it's pushing Valentine's Day, so it's like, hey, honey, you want to go out?
Right. Yeah, I
So the
agree.
February 9th and 10th, that's Friday and Saturday, and I believe the show's at 7 on those days.
Okay.
I already have in my calendar the 6 o'clock call. So yes, 7 o'clock.
Yes.
There you go.
And then on Sunday, it'll be a 2 o'clock show, so that means you guys are caught at 1.
Yeah.
Okay, so the weekend of the February 9th.
9th,
Yes.
10th, and 11th. Yeah.
9th, 10th, and 11th, and then you can obviously you can go to the Children's Theater Workshop on Facebook, and they got a link I'm sure on there to go and get the tickets. But also the address is what again, Matt?
CTWToledo.org.
All right, and then they'll have the tickets right there. Did we miss anything without ruining the show?
Right. I don't
I don't want to
think
spoil.
You
the
see,
show.
the murderer is
think so.
actually.
Don't you dare.
Matt, don't tell them.
Besides that, we don't want to spoil anymore. I think what you gave was a great explanation of everything that was going on. Sounds like it's a ride of a fun
It's
time.
so much fun. Thank you for using this.
I would also
script.
throw out there, like, not only for the website for tickets for TW, but if this sounds like something like, hey, my kid would actually kind of be
Yes.
interested in this. Also, check out what they do at Children's Theater Workshop,
Absolutely.
especially.
Yes.
We've
Yeah.
got many different programs, many different opportunities
Yeah,
for all
pimp 'em out.
ages, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, my son started there. That's where he started. He started off at CTW when he was like 5.
I also
Yeah.
went to CTW when I was littler than I am now.
There you go, Cassie Okanka, who's a local legend. I don't want to say that, honestly, but she's a big Broadway person now and lives in New York. She started off at CTW, and So there's some talented people that have come in and out of there all over the place.
For
so
sure, for sure.
and that's where we started because the word children was in it, and my kid was a child. So
That's exactly how I found it.
Just the label.
That's how my dad found it.
It was pretty easy. Like type in children's theater in the
Children, you
Google
go.
machine, and up it came. And I was like, oh, let's do that.
It's a pretty smart name to have for people looking for it.
Right there.
All right, so go check them out. February 9th, right?
February
That's when it
9th,
starts.
yes.
But go buy the tickets right now because I'm sure
Yes.
they are gonna sell.
Yes.
Especially with food involved.
Absolutely. People love food.
We do.
I love food.
Helps us live.
It does.
Good too.
All right, bye guys.
So, yeah.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.